village fun and why?
Sorry, can you say the question again?
Is living in the village fun and why?
Living in the village.
Oh,
Is it fun?
yes, definitely. It's really fun. And obviously, I was born in Bangladesh, in Syedpur, and growing up with my siblings and my extended families, it's really interesting and fun.
Do you get school meals, and if so, what are they like?
You don't get school meals, but you do get like a treat. We used to get biscuits each for all the children. So there's no like a school meal, set school meal.
Do they have any sports?
Well, we used to play. I used to think sports like fishing, because my favorite hobby was going fishing with my older brother, like catching fishes. And there's no like I wouldn't say any. I never played football, but I did play with these boxes, like boxes and marbles. These were like my more daily activities.
What furniture is there, and also where do you buy big items?
We have all the furnitures in the house, but to buy the bigger items, you could buy it from the bazaar. There's furniture stores, but mainly they used to travel to Sylhet to look for varieties.
What holidays do the people in the village take?
I think holidays, in the village, it's mainly visiting families. So different places, going to Sylhet or Dhaka or different parts of the village. That's mainly holidays for children, just visiting family. But they do go to nowadays people go to different. There is places where you could do activities like resorts and things. But back in the days, no, just visiting families. And sheep ride and boats, all these things were more fun.
How often do you have festivals?
Festivals, obviously we celebrate Eid, it's twice a year, and weddings mainly, these are the festivals.
Would you go fishing for or close?
Well, it's mainly very close, because everyone in the village where our house is everyone has a pond, like the whole street, I would say, not street, but it's like blocks. They'll have their own pond, and that's why we used to fish, and lakes beside the house.
What age do children start school?
It varies because obviously you have to pay for your education, and I've started very young age, say about 4 or 5, but it varies. Some people starts 7, 8, it depends.
How big would an average village be?
I think Syedpur is size of Sunderland, would you say? Yeah, size of Sunderland. It's quite big. I'm just guessing that. Hope I'm saying it right.
What's your favourite spot and why?
Sorry?
What's your favourite spot and why?
My favourite spots were playing with these boxes and marbles and fishing. I don't know if you call these spots, but that's what yeah. And I did used to play, what do you call it? You know that game? I'm sure Kushnoma would know. It's like TIG, but it's very different. but I don't know the proper name. It's just loads of children used to get together and used to catch them. Like whoever could catch them first, they get to win. So
What animals are in and out from around the villages?
there's loads of chickens, ducks, and dogs, and what else? Cats. But my favourite was chickens. I used to love it. Yeah, oh yeah, sheep and goats. Definitely goats. Cows, yeah, cows is the main one. I forgot about that. Every household has cows.
Does England do the same subjects as in Bangladesh?
They do. I think in the village it's mainly focused on like Bengali and some English and maths. They do geography and history, but I think it's when you go to like a secondary school. But primary, it's mainly these three, and religious education.
Are there any turtles in the village?
There is, yeah. I'm sure there is in the pond. Yeah, did you say turtles? Yeah, there is. Yeah.
What age do people leave school?
Are we saying primary school or secondary?
Secondary.
It's about 16, 17. I think it's very similar to here. If they've started like from the right age, yeah, 16, 17 is average.
What would people wear in everyday life?
Children, because it's very hot. Well, we used to wear like little dresses or like shorts, and sometimes just like a t-shirt, or like boys mainly vests and shorts. And I used to wear like a little tank tops. That's about it. And bare feet most of the time.
Do you have class pets? If so, what animal?
Do I have pets? Did I have? Yes, I did. Chickens. I had loads of chickens. I was fascinated with them. I used to visit the bazaar every week with my dad and collect them. Just making sure he gets one for me every week. And they used to lay eggs, and I used to wait in the morning to collect those eggs.
Is it hard living in the village, and why?
I think for us it was very normal, because this was our home, and I didn't see anything different. I think it was very normal, like just like you living in Sunderland in your own house.
Was school fun, and why?
I think it was. I think it was very stricter. When I compare it here, it was very stricter back then, because, say, homework, we had to memorize it. As a young child, memorizing and making sure every morning, because they used to check your nails, whether they're cut right, and you have to show your teeth whether you've brushed it. That's the first thing they check it, your nails and teeth, and you're dressed up okay. I think that was a bit annoying at times for me. And otherwise it was okay. But some days used to be, I find it like, oh God, I didn't memorize this, I don't want to go to school.
Do you visit any places?
In Bangladesh, I think when I was a child, I visited the city and some places in the city, Sylhet, and that's about it. And obviously just visiting family, because in the village we had all our relatives and families, so making sure visit them most days, like with my parents or my siblings.
How would you travel to school?
Walk and by boat on a rainy, like monsoon season.
What age do children start school?
I think, as I said, it's 4, 5, 6. It depends if they're ready, if the parents are ready as well. Because there's no strict guideline saying how it's in this country that at a certain age you have to start nursery. It's not like that back in the village. It's up to the parents when they're ready to send their children to school.
Where in the village are schools located? Or are they close together?
It's very close to it's located mainly. I think it's every corner of few blocks of houses. So it's like there's corners and there's name of the corners in the villages. So there's one in every corner, and it's not that far.
Do schools have a uniform?
Yes, they do. They do. I had it was a white dress, blue belt, and a white it's called shalwar trousers, and a white headscarf with blue piping.
Are there any museums in the village?
Nope. I think it's just rather than going to museum, I think looking at those trees and all these flowers, I think that's more like a museum for us. Like looking at these, making like necklaces with these flowers. I think that's more of our way of doing things.
Do schools have any school visits?
School visits? I haven't had one, but I'm sure nowadays they do visit places, but we never had one.
What is the most popular colour in the village?
I think like Bangladeshi, I think they like bright colours, like greens and reds and yellows. I think it's the bright colours are more in the village.
What kind of shops are there?
There is all kind of shops, clothing, vegetable, fish, everything is there. But for varieties, you travel to the city and the town.
How often do you have festivals?
I think I've said that it's twice a year, Eid, where you get to wear new clothes. And I used to wait for it, and we used to plan ahead for the what we're going to wear, and get really excited. But nowadays, I don't think our kids don't get excited that much.
What do you do at festivals?
As I say, we get to wear new clothes, different dishes, and getting friends and family together. That's mainly the. But what I used to love mainly is, in fruit season, I used to wake up in the morning. First thing, I used to go out and collect mangoes, or like there's different fruits. I used to love all that, and there's this traditional Bangladeshi flowers. I don't know whether you'll know. You make these necklaces. I used to love doing that, and you make earrings and headband. That's what I used to love, and that's what I miss the most.
At one point, how many most chickens you've had?
Sorry?
In Bangladesh, what's the most chickens? How many chickens have you?
We used to have a little house for the chickens, so I had about 8 to 10, but then we used to have them at the same time. So like mom used to get them cooked without telling me. So then I make sure, then I get another one. So that's what families do.
Did you get in the morning?
Not many, to be honest. Maybe 2, 3, or just one. But I think it's the fact. I think what I used to like just have that thing. Oh, I'm going to get an egg today. So that's what I used to love.
Would you find any foxes about?
I'm sure there is, but I haven't seen any. But there is. You could hear the sounds at night time. All sorts of sounds. But when we visit now, I think it's really different. What I've had experience when I was little, very young, but it's totally different. If you feel like going out, you feel like in the evening, you feel a bit scared. Even going to, because back then we used to have the toilets outside the house, but now, even although it's in the house, you feel different. It's completely different. But I still love the environment and the whole atmosphere. It's really refreshing.
Have you ever saw a Bengal tiger?
I've visited the zoo. I have seen it. The popular zoo, it's Chiriyakhana, isn't it? Yeah, in the city Dhaka. Yes, I have. That's where children mainly go to visit the Chiriyakhana. That's in the city. Yeah. So if the family wants to take children, that's where they usually take them, like theme parks.
What kind of turtles are there?
What kind of turtles? I think just turtles. Just normal ones. Any more questions?
You'd have to travel to school by boat.
Yeah.
So what type of measures would you have to take to protect your house from the monsoon?
Oh no, it doesn't hit your own. It's like it doesn't hit
Your
the
house
house.
is
No,
away
yeah,
from the-
oh definitely, yeah. But some houses gets hit really bad. But yeah. But our house was fine. Yeah, fine. Yeah. Maximum, it's like it maybe comes to our garden,
Right.
but otherwise it's fine. But the boat used to be arranged by like few families together and collecting the children. So they used to like come like door to door to collect the children. Yeah, but there's an adult to supervise them. So it wasn't done by the school. It was done by the families, so just to get them to school. Yeah. Otherwise, you don't go to school. Yeah, because how there is a system in place in this country. Like if you miss certain time, there's a measure. But back home, back in the village, it wasn't like that. So it's the parents' responsibility if they want to get their children educated. It's they have to make the arrangements. And
Was it expensive to educate your children?
yeah, if you want to give them good education, it is expensive. Especially maybe early years, it's not like I wouldn't say it's that expensive. But obviously, if you go further, like secondary, and then if you want to go for further education, it is expensive. You have a government school, but obviously, people want there is government schools, But if you want to go private, yeah, and there's a lot of competition. That's the thing, because obviously, there's more like better school people wants to because of the.
Do you think that puts more pressure on you on the children to do well
Well,
at school
yeah.
because the parents are paying for it?
Yeah, definitely. And I think it's the system is different, because how you have more. Maybe it's changed now, but how you have practical stuff more in this country. I think back home it's more like memorizing. It's like you have to memorize the full textbook. Yeah, I think it puts a lot of pressure, especially, and plus expectation of the family is very high, because I think some parents don't understand. it's like it's what they want, basically what they want for their children rather than what the child want for. I think it's changed now, but back in the days I think that they felt that's what would be good for my child, and this is what I want for them. But obviously things has changed, but I think that all the process worked because that got them in a place where, like, at least somewhere established, you know what I mean, even if they, because at the end of the day that's what they want, the best for the child. So it's definitely a lot of competition and the pressure, added pressure.
Added pressure.
Yeah.
Any more questions, anybody?
What would be the hottest and coldest degree?
I don't know about coldest, but hottest I would say about 38, 40 degrees. But coldest I don't know. Not that bad, honestly. About 15, 16, isn't it? Yeah. Because even if it's winter season, yeah, like I think when we were little, we used to feel cold, and I do remember they used to have loads of woods together and put a fire on, because you don't have like radiators in the house and it's all open. So in the morning, everyone used to get together and be beside that fire thing, and that's it. And as the days goes, the heat starts rising. I think it was. This is the best time, honestly, what we had. I think it's when I look back, I think it's the best, thing we've had. I don't think our children would ever experience that, and I think you understand because I feel the children nowadays don't understand the value of it. So, like, even when we came here, our parents never used to take us to school, but how we take them, drive them, it's still they're like, okay, can you take us? I think they're more dependent on us, and I think we were independent from early age. I think I haven't felt, I have to do it, it's my thing. Because I think it's also knowing that your parents don't have the language, or they probably won't understand the system here. That's why we already had that mindset. Yes. Even say the days I was off school, it was my responsibility to tell the teacher, I can't come. Mom's, she wouldn't write a note, or she wouldn't tell the teacher. So I think it's better. I think you learn, and you're more mature from early age. I don't know, but I think it's better.
Is it ever snow in Bangladesh?
Oh yeah, you have hailstones, massive ones, and that's scary because it's like that much. It's like hailstones, and I've seen them, and I don't know where it comes from, but it's massive. It's not like here, like little snows, no, like little hailstones, and the tin just makes so much sounds, horrendous.
Sounds dangerous.
Yeah, it does. If you're out, it could get really badly hit as well. If it drops on your head, it's,
Yeah.
Did you have to go to school 5 days late?
yes. I think it's 6 days. So Friday was the break. Friday was closed. Everything's closed on Friday.